Hey YouTube, this is Southern Purple 1. Sorry there's no boots on the ground. Today was too busy with phone calls. A lot of people are looking for answers to solar. So I have unbelievable amount of phone calls still to make tonight and receive. So no boots on the ground. So sorry for that. Tomorrow morning I'll have you probably a full 20 minutes worth because I got to make up. But I want to talk about Uvalde shooting. I have not talked about it publicly because I wanted to see all the footage. I want to see everything, and I've come to my conclusion. If you're a police officer, thank you for doing your job. If you uphold the Constitution on a daily basis and you carry that around in your patrol car and you actually follow it and you're there to help people, I commend you. I have friends, and a lot of you guys are out there that subscribe to my channel are in law enforcement, and I have the utmost respect for you. I know what it takes to do that job. I have a close relative that's in law enforcement. So, you know, you're always worried for them. What this situation taught me, though, that I've been out of the military for 15 years. What it taught me was those brave 18, 19, 20-year-old boys were more brave than I thought. So I'm extremely proud of them for what they did. Because I compare them to what we had now in Uvalde, watching those 3 officers run because some madman in the room with children fired some rounds and they run backwards. First of all, you guys paid for that. You went forward and you took that territory, you took that space, and then you run and give it up. No, don't ever give it up. If you moved forward and paid for it with the chance of being shot, hold. I wish they would have held. Slowly would have, even if they would have slowly pied the door. They didn't, they ran. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Why? Because there's children in a room with a madman. I don't know of any parent that their kid was in there would have done that. No, because we saw the fine example of that one lady that drove like a crazy distance to the school, got arrested trying to get into it, then was released, then got in there and saved her 2 kids. And you had all those officers, almost 400 as the report is coming out, that were on scene. It looked like it was only a few minutes and we had officers there. And then they showed their true colors, and that's your true colors. You don't run from a gunman when there's children in a room. So it really makes me more proud of those young men that I had 15 years ago. Those guys that would do anything you asked them, and they did. There's nothing like it having a squad or a platoon. Your squad is unbelievable. When you're a well-oiled squad, you can do anything, and those guys did it. I saw it. I've never seen an infantry guy, and I'll take it, this is 15 years ago, and actually way older than that. I never seen one of these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids shirk their duty, not once. I've seen them do the exact opposite. I've seen them square their plates up and go through doors, and no one would say, why'd you do that? That was crazy. There was rounds coming out of that room. They did it because it was their duty. It was their job. They also knew the guys in front of them and behind them were counting on them doing their job. So it makes me extremely proud looking back at what those boys did, and then I look at the Uvalde shooting, and I saw all those grown men run. Those grown men not want to get involved, not take the initiative. I don't care if your captain said, oh no, let's hold here. When a maniac's in a room with children, you don't hold. And that goes against all of the new training that is out on active shooter. Immediately get on site. If you don't have the right SWAT team or specialized team, you form up in a team and you immediately go to the threat. You deal with it, you contain it, and then you deal with it. What I saw in there was cowards. I'm sorry to say that. You were cowards. You were putting your life in front of your task of protecting others. Now you can say, well, the Supreme Court says that police officers don't have to protect the individual. We protect the whole. That's hogwash. There's a lot of officers are probably thinking, man, I should have done something looking back. A lot of officers are going to have to deal with that. And if you don't have serious problems arriving from that, you're not thinking. You're not owning up that you had a lot of responsibility to do more than you did except stand in a hallway. So Uvalde was terrible, but it has given me so much to be thankful for those young men in the past. One particular, we had an LPOP, a listening post, observation post out at night, away from our main encampment of probably 30, 40, 50 guys. I can't remember on that night how many guys we had in there. And we would stage there during the night because it was a secure location. So we had an LPOP because we kept on getting hit at night. One night we got a call that the LPOP was taking huge amounts of fire. I think they were found out. I think the enemy located the LPOP and was putting huge amounts of fire into their position. They were desperate. So they called back asking us to give us every bit of illumination, and that would be coming from an 81mm mortar. At the same time they were getting hit, our building was getting hit. I think they were trying to snatch those 3 guys. I think they were trying to keep us contained where we couldn't send out a quick reaction force to help them. We had a young man, 21, not married, throw his vest on and was going to drop a looms for him. I went outside too, but I was behind an 18-inch concrete wall with a mortar ballistic computer, trying to give him some data so he can relocate the mortar, put it on the right data, and drop some illumination rounds so they could see better. We were taking fire into this building. The concrete, I could hear it over my head hitting the concrete wall. I was safe. I didn't have any shoes on. I was pretty much, I think, probably in PTs or didn't even have a flak vest, but I was safe. This young man ran out there, adjusted a mortar by himself, and started dropping the loom rounds. That's what I'm used to. Doing your job, doing your duty. He never once, I don't even think I had to tell him to go out there. I think he knew, as our head gunner, and that's his mortar tube. I don't think I even asked him. I don't think anybody asked him. I think he just did what he knew he had to do. That's what I see. And then I look at Uvalde and it makes me sick to see how those officers reacted. Is it because they don't have training? I find that hard to believe. We've had active shooting training in most departments in the United States forever now. Active training is go to the threat. You don't sit and wait and contain the area. When a madman's in a room with kids, you have to deal with it. So, sad for those police officers that I think failed to do their job, but I'm extremely proud of those young men that have come before us. And you can look back, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all those young men that did their duty. Young men that would square their plates up and go into a building, knowing they're going to be corner to corner fighting. They never said, no man, that's going to get me killed. They went through that door because they knew they were on a team, and that team consisted of a fire team, and you had 2 fire teams in your squad. And if your squad had to take that building, guess what? You took the building. You didn't complain. So I can honestly say I have never seen an infantry soldier shirk his duty. Now, I've seen a few want to get out of some details and maybe try to get out of KP duty or a cleaning duty, but I have never seen an infantry soldier of the years past not square the plates and head right into the problem. We got a problem coming in this country. It's coming down the pipe. And as preppers, as Americans, we're going to have to square our plates up. And why do you square your plates up? Because that offers you the best protection. We're going to have to square our plates up and face what's coming down. And it's not pretty. It is the controlled destruction of our country. That's all it is. There's evil people that want to turn this great republic, not even into a socialist country, into a communist country. So, if you feel like, hey, It's just me out here and the world's crumbling around you. It is crumbling, but guess what? There's millions upon millions upon millions of us. You might say, Dave, when are we going to do something? There's no date going to ever be set. There's no date or rally or movement going to be planned. It's going to happen when we get so sick and tired of the wrongs, of the corruption, of the downright destruction of our country. And it's going to be just a spontaneous, and it's going to happen all over the United States. So there's no date to set. But at that point, I pray Americans will square their plates and go straight into the problem. Thanks for watching.